Hello, Year 3. This is your English video for Monday, the 18th of January. Now, what we're going to be doing today is quite similar to what we did on Friday. On Friday, you'll remember that we had the three different circles, one with the stick man, one with the tree, and one with the treasure chest. And on the stick man, we created a name for our new character instead of Stig. With the tree, we created ideas for a different setting. And with the treasure chest, we created things that we thought might be in that setting. So it's got exactly the same learning objective, but we're just building on that now. So the learning objective for today is to create ideas for a new story using a plot structure. Now you'll see, like on your sheet, this is the plot structure that we have, okay? Now, it says here that the character goes to stay somewhere new, away from home. So that's the first part that we're going to be thinking about. But who is this character? In Stig of the Dump, it was Barney, but we're writing our own story. So we need a new character, don't we? Not Barney, somebody new. And that's what we're going to look at first of all. So if I look down here, it says character name instead of Barney. And I've gone with two names and they've both got the is sound at the end. So we've got Emily and Stanley. So you can choose either one of those. Those are the only names that I do want you to choose though, Year 3, okay? I don't want any others. No Bobs, no Timothys, nothing like that. Emily or Stanley. So I'm going to choose Stanley. So I'm going to put a circle around Stanley so that you know what I'm doing. And let's go all the way back up here. So let's have a look now. So it says, character goes to stay somewhere new, away from home. So I'm going to add a little bit of text to here, which is what you can do, just so that we know what's happening in each part of our story. Now, you might not be able to get this table up at home. That is absolutely fine. There is one on the page that I put on the class website for today. But what you might want to do, you might just want to label them point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you need to make sure that you're keeping this paper really, really safe, because otherwise, if you lose it, you don't know what's going to be happening in each part of the story, okay? So the character goes to stay somewhere new, away from home. So like I said, I'm going to do Stanley. So I'm going to write Stanley goes to spend a few weeks of his holidays at his Auntie Susan's house. Okay, really, really simple, really, really straightforward, but all my own ideas. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to describe where Auntie Susan might live, just to add a little bit more detail to set that scene. So Auntie Susan lives in the countryside. Okay, then I might want to think about what is in that countryside. So there might be tall trees, lots of green grass. I used alliteration there. Really describe. So get a couple of phrases in there that you might want to use when you're setting the scene. So luscious green grass. So they missed on. Tall trees. Oh, I'm not doing very good with my spelling. So luscious green grass, tall trees, and the area, there's not a lot of people that goes there. So it might be quite, what's the word? I could say abandoned, seeing as not a lot of people go there. Abandoned area. Ooh, adding a sense of mystery. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on to my next part, okay? So let's have a look all together. So the character falls into or discovers a dump, pit or a cave and goes exploring. Now, one of the options last week was a forest as well. You could do a forest too. But if you think back to when Miss Dunn did the video last Friday, my character went into a cave. So I'm going to use a cave still. Stanley falls off a small cliff edge and tumbles, that's a good word, tumbles into a cave through, through the roof. Okay, that's it. That's the main point done. Then what I'm going to do, add that little bit more detail that we talk about. So Stanley falls off a cliff edge and tumbles into a cave through the roof. Then what he's going to do, he gets to his feet and explores. He sees lots of tin cans, plastic bottles, and recycling all around the cave. So builds up that idea a little bit more. It gives you an idea of where his Auntie Susan lives, because we've done that in point 1. And then on point 2, he's fallen off the cliff edge, tumbles into the cave, and now he's finding all this like recycling and rubbish that's just been dumped there, and nobody knows why. So let's have a look at point number 3. So the character meets a friend from the Stone Age and a character description. So this is where you need to think about what you did on Friday. So Miss Dunn created the character called Flig. Okay, kind of like Stig, but it's a bit of a cheating name. So Stanley meets Flig. He was sat down up in the corner behind a large rock. So I've just adding that little bit of description again. Stanley. Flig has wavy hair, minimal clothing, so that means he's not got a lot of clothing on, and is very mucky. Okay, so you think about his face, it looks like it's not had a wash. So I'm going to write that on too. His face looks as though it hasn't been washed. So let's look at the next bit. So character and new friend use items thrown away to create an invention. Now this gets a little bit exciting, doesn't it? So Stanley and Flig look at all the recyclable. Ooh, Miss Dunn's gone crazy. Recyclable materials around the cave, and Stanley has an idea. So Stanley's idea. Now I can think of lots of different ideas for this, but Stanley's idea here is, in my story, is to use the cans and all the glasses and bottles and things like that to get some cutlery, some plates and dishes and things like that for Flig to use. Okay, Stanley and Flig use cut and sort out the recyclable materials so that Flig has cutlery and plates, bowls to eat from. So that is my idea for that section. Now, like I said, you need to really make sure you keep this paper safe so you've got it for when you're writing your story next week. Now, my last part says, character goes home and tells family member about the new friend and the invention. And the adventure, sorry. But if you remember, when Stig did this, Stig went back to his grandma's house and he told his grandma and Lou all about the adventure he'd had and who he'd met, but nobody believed him, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? They thought he was an imaginary friend. So let's think about that and then we can develop this bit. So Stanley heads home after a day of inventing with Flig. Stanley, do you think he's feeling tired? Think of a better word for tired though. What's that better word? Exhausted. Stanley is exhausted. His Auntie Susan is cooking. Oh, booking. That's a strange one. Booking. Oh, silly Miss Dunn, is cooking tea and asks where he has been all day long. Stanley tells his Auntie Susan, but she doesn't believe him and thinks he has an imaginary friend. So even though we've only done those 5 little points today, we've included lots and lots of detail. We've really said the plots for our story, what's going to happen when we write it up. And the rest of this week, we are going to be building upon this. So please, like I said, keep it safe, okay? I'm looking forward to seeing your different plots. Remember, only Emily and only Stanley, and use the characters and your setting to help you with this, okay, Year 3? Good luck. Please make sure you send all your work to me on Class Dojo, and I can't wait to see it. Okay, superstars. See you soon. Bye.